Our pilgrimage starts in the metro on the last connecting train to Bugis. We're on one of the newer train lines in Singapore, the Blue Line, also known as the Downtown Line. It's a hell of a long ride for me this early without coffee. I might doze off anytime. As I was saying, this train line stretches across 42 kilometers across the island, an entire full marathon length of 26 miles. It has 35 stations, 11 of those cuts through and overlaps with the other lines, making its construction an engineering marvel as it bored through these tunnels just right beside other lines that are in operations with margins as slim as a meter to 8 meters. And while I randomly spew out trivia from time to time, staring at these tunnels got me excited as my mind wandered off thinking this is Space Mountain, except there's no gust of cold wind. Here's an example of multiculturalism in Singapore. Listen in on the train broadcast. You'll hear ambient background noises. What you just heard is a set of 4 languages: English, Mandarin for Chinese, Bahasa for Malays, and Tamil for Indians. And while everyone's racing for the exit, I'm here pretending to figure out the subway map while everyone else clears out of the area. I prefer to have an intimate free solo climb on these escalators like Alex Honnold. As we see the turnstiles on the horizon, the exit feels so close, but don't be bamboozled, we still need to figure out which exit to take to street level. Just like Dora the Explorer, this is the map. This is where we're at, and this is the temple we're heading over to. For a moment, the station reminded me of how vast this underpass is, as you can see people going about directly below us, and that travelator spans this entire corridor, which is huge. A noticeable thing with how Singapore expands its railway underground network is verticality. Some stations go as deep as 43 meters, that's around 140 feet down. Here we are on our last ascent to the street level. This is yet another 3-floor escalators from the other one we took up the turnstiles in the station, which totals up 6 floors below ground. We're finally out. I'm gonna immediately head over to the cafe on the left for a cup of joe. This is HarriAnns, one of the best local cafes around Bugis. This is my go-to stop for some local authentic Peranakan delicacies. Peranakan is a Malay word that means local born. It connotes to being born and raised here but have heritage elsewhere. The drink I got here is called Yuan Yang. It's a half and half mix of coffee and tea. A sip of it opens up to a taste of coffee and tapers off with the bitterness of tea at the tail end. And the cakes here have an uncanny resemblance to SpongeBob and Gary. I can almost hear that squeaky laughter. These are cassava cake and kueh salat. Both have gelatinous, sticky, cakey texture. Kueh salat stands out for being known as the pretty face cake, and that beauty radiates from the green custard layered onto sticky rice. As we finish up with our first pit stop with renewed vigor, I learned something new in photography, and it's a thing called blown out skies. As you can see here, the sky is white as snow, and I'll pretend we're setting up a scene for Bruce Almighty. Jim Carrey's gonna come down and tell me God is a mean kid with a magnifying glass, and as I quickly skip along before the mighty smiter smites thee, we're now in Bugis Street, one of the touristy alleyways in Singapore that has everything under the sun. This place is perfect for your street market shopping, from Rolex Submariners, a stick of hot dog, your favorite I Heart SG t-shirts, to souvenir keychains and fridge magnets. Not to mention getting lost in one of these side alleys, which has its distinct quirks like the art lane. And this corner has all the artsy-fartsy stuff with a bunch of street art, including propped up exhibits that make your neighborhood strange and you'd want to call Ghostbusters. I ain't afraid of no ghost. As I pull my head out of this corner and regain focus on our pilgrimage, we're finally out of the rabbit hole and into our second and final pit stop. This is Albert Food and Market Center, an unassuming food court that is often missed out and mistakenly thought of as a flea market. It's one of the best food stop galore in the area that serves a magical elixir known as sugarcane. Our shopkeeper here is working overtime as we see him pressing the freshly cut stalks from the plantations of Malaysia into this graveyard box of squeezed dried pulp. I'm very excited to take this cup along for a sip and walk session, but decided to hunker down as the skies turn dark and heavy rain is imminent. Although we're gonna be stuck here for a while under gloomy skies, I'm cheerful and upbeat, knowing I'll be enjoying this cup with undivided attention, and the last thing that's stopping me from doing that is this panda. Boom! Panda is out of the picture. While I'm enjoying this zesty sugarcane drink, the sky looks like it's not letting up, so I decide to grab another snack. This is rojak, a Javanese salad. I'm pausing here because I like the word Javanese. Reminds me of Java, the programming language. Not JavaScript, JavaScript sucks. But I digress. This salad is a mix of tangy fruits and bland morsels. The blandness comes from the fried bean curd, cucumber, and peanuts, while the tangy side comes from the pear, pen, pineapple, apple, pen. And that was a quick intermission from Pico Taro. At some point, somebody must have halted their rain dance, and the sky is clear for us to resume our pilgrimage. And we're here around the area of Bencoolen, where the streets are lined with cobblestones, and up ahead is an open plaza where you find people hanging around. With the Lunar New Year around the corner, this area is more festive than usual, as you can see with the pop-up shop selling red and orange pineapple lanterns. This is the god of wealth at the heart of the plaza, and he's surrounded by the Chinese zodiac, and as I move closer to take a better shot, I'm now invading this gentleman's personal space. Since this is the year of the fire horse, I decided to look for the horse zodiac in its comprehensive analysis. The lucky numbers are 2 and 33. Once you start to see the monks, the temple should be right up ahead, but allow me to get distracted one last time at this bazaar and let's listen in to my favorite Chinese New Year jam. If that song was in Dance Dance Revolution, I'd AAA that in a heartbeat. As we pass through the last canopy of red lanterns, we're finally at the temple gates. The word on the street is this temple has a very high hit rate on granting wishes, and I wish to end world hunger. Wait, cancel that. If I end world hunger, that means I won't be hungry enough to go out for food and make YouTube videos. As selfish as that sounds, let me try to shift the topic and distract you to another fun fact about Buddhism. This is a symbol where it gets people riled up, and this is the swastika, a Sanskrit symbol for prosperity, luck, peace, and or unity depending on the direction it's facing. It's widely used across various overlapping religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. As our visit to the temple comes to an end, I find myself feeling a profound sense of peace just by observing prayers all around. With a tummy full of sugarcane and Peranakan cakes, I hope you've found your solace in this pilgrimage as well. Appreciate you for coming along till the end, and I'll see you on the next one.